Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your September 2017 tarot card reading. So, I have it's September 1st. Happy September 1st. So I have been shuffling and meditating on your sign. I just want to dive right in. So what I did with last set of readings, I asked everyone to like or comment and let me know if you like me reading when I choose sort of the animal card, reading it from the book. So and you all did because of your incredibly sweet, kind, loving comments. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this month, so for the next couple of weeks, the animal card you have is the otter, and this is like my totem animal, and I think Aquarius did get this for this month actually as well. So this is like a thematic, overarching umbrella energy to keep in mind as we look through the rest of as we do the rest of the reading. So let me just go ahead and read it. The otter, unobstructed joy, playfulness, and contentment. Perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck. The otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child, available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and a reverence for life itself, without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. When in balance, the otter is full of love and needs nothing. And when out of balance, the otter energy is gloomy, sighs, and makes silly excuses. And to bring into balance, dance, party, or celebration. So, first thing I want to say is as I was reading that, I do feel like for Scorpios, many of you, there is a connection to Aquarius. So it might serve you to check out that video, or just to sort of keep that Aquarian archetype, to stay open to it, and to sort of use your intuition to see how that applies. You might have an Aquarian in your life, and this is sort of saying that there is that it's being that a person's being highlighted and showing up as sort of this presence, or just your rising or moon sign. But there is sort of this connection to Aquarius here. And we have the water bearer, and the otter is a water animal. So keeping that in mind, I'm also getting because when I was meditating on your sign, what I was hearing, I heard taking the bull by the horns, and there's a sense of taking charge in some area, and then there's something about environment, and this has been for a couple of signs here, that there's this but for you specifically, Scorpio, it feels as though there's like there's something that is about your environment that is it just feels like you're aware of it, like there's a change, or there's a shakeup, or there's something around environment that you're feeling of it. It could even be a move. It could be desiring to feel, to change your environment. There's this awareness of your environment. And then I also got that there was this feeling of, it's like the Father of Pentacles energy, sort of, that you're a source of support right now, that you're a source of support in some way, and there's this supportive energy around sort of like around you right now, this being a form of support. And I heard that visibility is obscured. So by that, it's like there's like it's almost like it's hard to quite see what's in front of you. There's this sense of you're sort of being forced to embrace the unknown, and sort of you're being faced with the unknown. And then the other thing that came up was there's this feeling of that there's something requiring great care from you right now. Great care. So let's see. Whoops. Oh, wow. So we have the sun that literally flew out right over on top of the auto card. So there is this brightening. There is this brightening that's happening for you. So it's almost, I just heard new hope. Things are really opening up. So we have, this is more in the past year. So we have the 9 of Swords reversed. We have the Hermit. We have the Fool. There's that new hope, that new beginning, that new possibility. This is, again, more past, though. Death. And then we have the 9 of Cups upright. So whatever this is it's something that was like really taxing and sort of alarming and shocking and sort of shaking up your sense of reality. And it's almost, I feel like this is speaking to just, with Swords, we have a lot of that mind activity, that mind energy. And it's a lot of worrying, a lot of sort of, oh my gosh, how, what is this? How am I going to sort of problem solve this? And then it's like, it's this feeling of, how am I going to work this problem? How am I going to address this? How am I going to, it's all, I just heard deep dive. So there's this deep dive energy. And from that, there's new possibility. And it's so interesting here with the Death card and the Fool. And there's this, I feel like there's this process, this natural kind of, this little baby bird. And then this, this sort of old, decaying. It's like for me, it looks almost like the cycle of life. And that's what the Death card represents. But I feel like this is really highlighting that. So there's this looking at the cycles of life. And whatever, and then sort of whatever this is it's almost like you're like you really like it's almost like you're really just giving something your all. You're really doing, I just heard doing your due diligence again, sort of at this hermit card. That's this study, this exploration, investigation energy. And it's almost like you're really, you're taking care of things. So also here in the past, I'm feeling a lot of responsibility. But we have this now, we're moving into this brightness. There's this, all of a sudden, there's this new horizon coming in. There's this, again, I want to say new hope. It's almost like the waters are parting. You can see your way. like it's almost like a path is coming forward. And this could be more towards the middle of September, but I feel like this is a gradual sort of building where you're now beginning to see your way through it. And it feels, again, because it feels like simultaneously there's a sense of not being able to, not knowing, not quite knowing the way. Again, this idea that your visibility, you're able to sort of see through something is obscured at the same time. So faith is being called in here. Faith is being called in. But it feels like it is like faith that is grounded in there's something that's initiating that you're like, oh, okay, I'm hoping for something, and now I'm beginning to see the proof of that what I'm hoping for is possible. And so it's this combination of both like faith, and you're beginning to sort of see that what you're hoping for can happen. Scorpio. So there's this brightening happening. Okay. Let's just shuffle a little bit more here. And then just decision making. I heard there's this about having to make decisions. We also have the 7 of Wands reversed. So I just also got the feeling of you're putting something down, you're handing something over. So it's almost like this responsibility, this heavy responsibility that that you were sort of feeling. It's this sense of, I just heard communion and community, but there is this where it's not so, it doesn't feel as heavy as perhaps it felt. It's almost like you are both the source of support, and you've been the source of support around something, but now it's I just heard taking a load off. So there is this lightening of the load to a degree. And it's like through that lightening of the load, now there is this newfound clarity. Now possibilities and things are beginning to open up again for you. Scorpio. Wow, so we have the Mother of Swords reversed. We have the Lovers reversed. And we have the Magician reversed. So flight, I just heard flight. And there is this, so there's something about looking in a new direction, I'm feeling that strongly with this Lover's card, is this sense of looking in a new direction. And it's like you're prompted by something greater than yourself to sort of look in this new direction, it's almost like you're feeling this pull of it's like a calling. It's a calling. And there's something incredibly practical about whatever this looking in this new direction is as well. And your approach to it feels quite practical. And it's almost looking at like as you're looking in this new direction, as you're sort of feeling this call, you're looking at the practicalities of this call, and does that make sense to you? And sort of there's this evaluation process that I feel is coming to a head. And there's something where you're looking at the practicalities of whatever this new direction you're urged to look into, sort of, the practicalities of what that new reality looks like for you, what that change would do, sort of what you're really like, what's over here? And does this, is this practical for me? And I'm noticing so strongly here, we have this, it's almost like this focal point here, and then these beams of light and color. So there is this expansive, this opening up. And I do feel that that whatever this is, that something was requiring like this, this zeroing in, almost like this like blinder focus. And now there's this feeling that you're able to take the blinders off a bit and let your gaze wander, to sort of take in, to look around you a bit more, to sort of see what's out there a bit more. So there is this breath that I feel, is coming in, that's sort of allowing you to widen your gaze, yeah. So let's see. And because we are around the Lover's card here, in this sense of looking in a new direction, that could be in relationships, absolutely. See what we have coming up for you here. Okay. So we have the Justice card reversed, Libra's card. We have the 5 of Cups. We have the 10 of Cups. So I'm getting half full. So this is about perspective here. 5 is half of 10. It's like, and I'm like, is the cup half full, is what I just heard. So it's your perspective can make or break you here, as perspective can. But there's this saying, really, this is all about how you look at something. And it could be incredibly fulfilling and full of, color and wonder and value and inspiration and fulfillment. Or that you could be, so there's something that really you could look at one way and it could be really, really hard to swallow. And it could feel like, heavy and again, sort of this discontent, this victim mentality perhaps. Or you could look at it from another perspective, a completely different perspective, the same thing, and it could be liberating and a great gift and really meaningful and really useful. So there's something about around a specific thing about that it's saying, your perspective on this is everything. So ask yourself, like, is there something that if it feels heavy and if it feels like it's draining and it's something you could sort of feel sorry for yourself around, ask yourself, can I look at this from a different angle? Because that could be sort of that one key that really, if you look at it from a different angle, it can sort of unlock this beautiful, joyful, like high frequency energy for you. And the Justice card reversed, it feels as though this feels like there's some sort of imbalance that needs to be addressed. So yeah, I'm feeling with this that there is some sort of imbalance that needs to be addressed, and it probably is whatever the first thing that comes to mind for you is. But there's some sort of imbalance that you're conscious of. That you might feel it's time to sort of address over the next couple of weeks. And then we have the Nine of Wands reversed. So again, we have that unloading energy. There's this, from whatever this was. Whoops, this energy here. There's this to a degree, and this as well. There is this unburdening. So it's almost like you're, the Nine of Wands is like carrying all these wands on your back, and it's a heavy, heavy load, and you could feel like constricted and overburdened. And with it in reverse here, it's saying that there is this lightening of the load. And it's and although, and I do feel it's coming in a form of support for you. So there is this sense of support, but it still feels that you're I'm getting here like that there are these little disagreements, or there are these little pieces that you're sort of looking at. The Five of Wands, it often can be a card of conflict and sort of a bit of some little there's more frustrating conversations. Those pieces that you're like, oh, I can't quite get this to fit. Like, this is so frustrating. I can't get this to work. I can't, I don't totally agree. So there are these or we disagree here on this. So it feels like there are those conversations that feel like I'm feeling a tedious energy with this. So it's just something to be conscious of. And then the Ace of Cups this feels like this, very in line with this new hope, this new possibility, I just heard fresh start, new start. And whatever it is, whatever sort of, it's really, it's this filling up of your cup again. So it's the support, it's allowing you to take care of yourself a bit better. And it's supportive and loving and nurturing. And so there is this sense that there's this chance over the next couple of weeks to feel fulfilled in places and ways that you haven't felt fulfilled in the past here recently. So this looks like a great, a really hopeful, bright, and productive, important time for you. So embrace that, and I'm wishing you all of the best, and I'm sending you my love and blessings, and yeah, please just comment. Your comments are so sweet, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I love you so much. I love you.